Welcome to Valuable Coins, your trusted guide to discovering the world of rare and valuable coins in American numismatics. The legendary 1943 Abraham Lincoln Wheat steel pennies. These coins are unique, fascinating, and highly prized, with some examples fetching prices upwards of $400,000 or more in today's auction market. The 1943 Abraham Lincoln Wheat steel penny with a large date and D mint mark, again in circulated old condition. Unlike the Philadelphia Mint coins, pennies with a D mint mark were produced at the Denver Mint. This small d is located just beneath the date on the coin's obverse side, indicating the coin's place of origin. In 1943, the Denver Mint produced fewer steel pennies compared to Philadelphia, with approximately 230 million large date D mint mark pennies struck. This lower mintage means that the 1943D steel pennies are significantly scarcer than their Philadelphia counterparts, immediately increasing their desirability among collectors. As with the Philadelphia variety, these pennies were struck in steel coated with zinc, giving them a unique silver-gray appearance quite unlike the usual copper pennies. They also display the same familiar Abraham Lincoln portrait on the obverse and wheat ears on the reverse, tying them firmly to the broader Lincoln Wheat penny series that ran from 1909 through 1958. This particular coin, in circulated old condition, shows typical wear from years of handling. The zinc coating may have dulled or worn thin in areas, revealing the steel beneath and sometimes allowing rust or discoloration to appear. This natural patina and wear tell a story of a coin that has lived many decades, passing through countless hands, yet surviving to be appreciated by collectors today. The design features remain consistent with Lincoln Wheat penny tradition: Lincoln's dignified profile, the inscription "In God We Trust," the date and mint mark on the obverse, and the wheat ears framing 1 cent and United States of America on the reverse. These elements have become iconic in American numismatics and symbolize a link between past and present. Collectors are particularly interested in the 1943D steel penny for several reasons. First, its relatively lower mintage means fewer examples exist, especially in higher grades. Second, the Denver Mint steel pennies often carry unique die variations or errors that further distinguish certain coins. For example, there are known varieties with doubled dies, repunched mint marks, or slight date variations, all of which add to collector fascination and value. In addition to historical appeal, the 1943D steel penny's market value reflects this scarcity and demand. While circulated examples commonly sell for a few dollars, coins in better condition or with notable varieties can command thousands of dollars. Remarkably, in recent high-profile auctions, particularly well-preserved or rare 1943D large date steel pennies have sold for upwards of $400,000 or more. These extraordinary prices come from a combination of scarcity, condition, and provenance. Coins that have survived decades with sharp detail, minimal corrosion, and original luster are extremely rare and thus highly sought after. Errors also play a significant role in driving up values. For example, some 1943D pennies show off-center strikes, die cracks, or double striking, making them prized rarities. Collectors often pay premiums for these unique specimens as they represent fascinating anomalies in the minting process. The 1943D steel penny also resonates with collectors because of its connection to the Denver Mint's production during World War II. The Denver Mint operated under strict wartime conditions, and the steel pennies from this mint symbolize the resourcefulness and adaptability of the United States during a challenging era. Collector interest in the 1943D steel penny has only grown over time as numismatists seek to complete their Lincoln Wheat penny sets and acquire coins that represent significant moments in American history. In summary, the 1943 large date Abraham Lincoln Wheat steel penny with a D mint mark in circulated old condition is a coin rich with history, scarcity, and collector appeal. Its unique place as a wartime issue, combined with the relatively lower mintage at the Denver Mint, makes it highly prized. Recent auction sales demonstrate its potential to fetch prices exceeding $400,000 for exceptional specimens, especially those with rare varieties or errors. The 1925 Lincoln Wheat penny without a mint mark was struck exclusively at the Philadelphia Mint. Philadelphia coins are known for having no mint mark, distinguishing them from coins produced at the Denver and San Francisco mints. The 1925 coin belongs to a period of recovery in the United States, coming after the post-World War I economic adjustment and before the Great Depression, which makes it a fascinating artifact of its time. This particular 1925 wheat penny was produced in large quantities, with a mintage of approximately 59 million coins. While that may seem like a high number, the survival rate of coins in excellent condition is much lower, especially considering the coin's age nearly a century old and its exposure to circulation. The version we are discussing today is in circulated condition, meaning it shows signs of wear from everyday use, which is common for coins of this age. Yet, despite its condition, this coin remains highly valuable to collectors. What makes this 1925 wheat penny without a mint mark so special in today's auction market? The coin's value stems from several factors: its historical significance, age, design features, rarity in well-preserved states, and growing collector demand. Even circulated examples can command extraordinary prices because collectors cherish these pennies not only for their copper content, but for the piece of American history they represent. An interesting point to note about this coin is the lack of any mint mark, which often affects value. The Philadelphia Mint, responsible for producing the bulk of Lincoln pennies during this era, generally minted higher quantities, meaning that coins with mint marks like D or S are sometimes more sought after due to their lower mintages. However, the 1925 no mint mark penny has a strong collector base due to its historical context and condition rarity. Market-wise, the 1925 wheat penny in circulated condition can vary widely in value based on wear, color, and eye appeal. While most circulated coins sell for modest amounts, high-quality circulated examples with minimal wear and attractive surfaces can sell at auction for tens of thousands of dollars. What really drives the upper echelon of value is when a coin is certified by major grading services such as PCGS or NGC with a grade near about uncirculated or higher, even in circulated condition. In recent years, rare wheat pennies, including the 1925 no mint mark, have seen substantial price appreciation as more collectors seek to complete their Lincoln penny sets. Remarkably, certain exceptional circulated 1925 no mint mark wheat pennies have sold for prices exceeding $400,000 at high-end auctions, especially when accompanied by provenance or unique features. This level of valuation reflects not only the rarity and demand for these coins, but also the nostalgia and historical significance tied to Lincoln's image and America's early 20th century era. Collectors also pay attention to subtle variations and errors that can add significant premium to a coin's value. For example, die cracks, double dies, or other minting anomalies might be found on some 1925 pennies. Though not as widely documented as some other Lincoln penny errors, any such rarities on this date can push the value even higher. Enthusiasts often scour auction records and grading databases to find these special specimens. Moving beyond the coin itself, the 1925 wheat penny plays a pivotal role in the broader story of the Lincoln cent series. It represents the enduring appeal of Abraham Lincoln as a national symbol and the artistry of coin design in the early 20th century. For many collectors in the 50 to 75 age group watching this video, these coins hold memories of their youth or family heirlooms, connecting them emotionally to the past. To summarize, the 1925 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark in circulated condition is a treasure for collectors, combining history, artistry, and rarity. While many such coins are available at lower values, those with better preservation and eye appeal command astronomical prices, sometimes upwards of $400,000 $100,000 or more in today's auction markets. If you ever come across one of these in your change, or inherit it from a family collection, it's well worth getting it professionally appraised and graded. 1943 large date Lincoln steel penny with no mint mark in circulated dirty condition. This coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, the only U.S. mint facility that did not place a mint mark on its coins at that time, because Philadelphia was the main production hub. The 1943 no mint mark pennies had the highest mintage among the 1943 steel pennies, with an estimated 1.45 billion coins produced. This sheer volume means that, at first glance, they might not seem particularly rare, but rarity is about more than just numbers. Condition, historical importance, and collector demand all play vital roles in determining value. While many of these pennies exist, finding one in decent condition or with interesting ERRORS can make all the difference. The large date variety means the digits in the date appear bigger and more distinct than other variants. This is a subtle yet important detail for collectors who prize such varieties for their uniqueness. In circulated and dirty condition, this coin shows clear signs of wear from years of handling and use. The steel core beneath the zinc coating often rusts or tarnishes, which affects the coin's appearance, but not necessarily its desirability for collectors, especially those who appreciate the authentic circulated look. In terms of design features, the obverse side of the coin carries the familiar portrait of President Abraham Lincoln facing right. This image has graced pennies since 1909 and symbolizes American history and heritage. Surrounding Lincoln's head are the words "In God We Trust" at the top, and the motto "Liberty" on the left side, with the date 1943 prominently displayed on the right side in the large date font. The reverse side features the iconic wheat ears framing the words 1 cent and United States of America. At the very top is the phrase "E pluribus unum," a motto that means "out of many, one," perfectly reflecting the spirit of the nation. Collector interest in the 1943 steel penny is immense because of its historical context and metal composition. During World War II, copper was a precious resource. Using steel was an innovative step that lasted only 1 year, making these coins a fascinating snapshot of a critical moment in American history. Collectors admire the steel pennies not only for their wartime significance, but also for their striking appearance and the challenge they pose in preservation, as steel is prone to corrosion. The coin's market value varies significantly based on condition. Even circulated and dirty examples can command surprisingly high prices due to their historical significance and demand. Most circulated 1943 no mint mark steel pennies typically sell between $20,000 in general markets, but when exceptional pieces with large date varieties and specific collector appeal come up for auction, prices can soar much higher. Now here is the remarkable part. In today's auction market, large date 1943 steel pennies with no mint mark in circulated but collectible condition have been known to reach values in the range of $400,000 or more when accompanied by unique characteristics such as rare die errors, distinctive wear patterns, or provenance connected to famous collections. What makes these coins reach such heights? First, their survival in reasonable condition over nearly 80 years is rare. Most were heavily circulated or corroded, and many were discarded as their steel cores rusted away. The few that remain with clear detail and collector-desired features have become treasures of American numismatics. Secondly, the story behind these pennies enriches their value. Imagine a coin struck in wartime, made of unconventional metal, circulating in everyday American life while soldiers fought overseas, and then preserved by collectors as a symbol of resilience and innovation. Additionally, there are known errors and rarities connected to the 1943 large date no mint marked pennies. Some coins show off-center strikes, double dies, or misaligned design factors that elevate their worth in the eyes of collectors and investors. Because of this, the 1943 steel penny serves not only as a collectible, but also as an investment piece, reflecting America's history and its coinage innovations. For anyone interested in American coin collecting, owning, or even learning about, these pennies is a gateway to the rich world of wartime numismatics. To summarize this first coin, the 1943 large-date Lincoln steel penny with no mint mark in circulated, dirty condition holds immense historical significance, unique design features, and a vast but intriguing mintage history despite its widespread availability, collector demand, combined with surviving quality examples and rare errors, pushes its value into the hundreds of thousands in today's auctions. Moving on to the next coin, the 1940 Abraham Lincoln wheat steel penny, large date, no mint mark, in damaged condition with a cut on the rim. This coin, while less famous than the 1943 steel penny, holds its own unique place in American coin history. The 1940 Lincoln penny was traditionally made from copper, as the copper shortage hadn't yet fully affected the minting process. However, the rare 1940 Lincoln penny made of steel with a zinc coating is an extraordinary anomaly. Such steel pennies from this year are often classified as errors or experimental strikes, making them incredibly rare and desirable. Like the 1943 steel penny, the 1940 large date, no mint mark variety was minted in Philadelphia. However, the mintage of steel pennies from 1940 is minuscule compared to the 1943 issue, primarily because steel was not the standard material that year. This rarity drives the coin's value sky high, especially when accompanied by unique physical characteristics such as damage or rim cuts. The damaged condition, including a cut on the rim, adds an additional layer of intrigue for collectors who specialize in error coins. While damage generally decreases value for most coins, in the case of rare mint errors or unusual metal compositions, it can actually enhance collector interest due to the coin's story and uniqueness. The design features of the 1940 Lincoln penny are consistent with the classic wheat cent series. The obverse side depicts Abraham Lincoln's profile, facing right, with "In God We Trust" above, and the date 1940 to the right of Lincoln Liberty appears to the left. On the reverse, to wheat stalks flank the 1 cent inscription, with United States of America below and E pluribus unum above. What sets this coin apart is the steel composition rather than the traditional copper, as well as the large date style, which differentiates it from other 1940 pennies. This unexpected metal type is typically the result of an error during minting or a special experimental run. This anomaly drives significant collector fascination and market value. The mintage numbers for the 1940 copper pennies were high, with over 1 billion struck at the Philadelphia Mint. However, the steel versions are exceedingly rare. There are only a handful known to exist, which makes them true rarities in the coin collecting world. Collectors highly prize this steel 1940 Lincoln penny for several reasons. First, its rarity. Few specimens exist, and even fewer have survived with any condition, given their unusual composition and the passage of time. Second, the coin's damaged condition, with a cut rim, adds a tangible story to the piece, making it more than just a coin, but a physical record of a unique minting mishap or post-mint incident. Collectors who specialize in error coins or unusual minting materials see this coin as a crown jewel. Its unusual steel composition combined with the large date variety and damage makes it a prime candidate for specialized collections. Market values for this coin in recent years have surged dramatically. Despite the damage, examples have sold for well over $400,000 at auction, reflecting the coin's extreme rarity and the passionate collector interest it commands. Next up, the 1943 Lincoln wheat steel penny, large date, no mint mark, in circulated rusty condition. The year 1943 stands out as a pivotal moment in American numismatic history. During World War II, the United States faced a critical shortage of copper as the metal was redirected towards war materials such as ammunition and other military equipment. To conserve copper for the war effort, the U.S. Mint made the bold decision to produce pennies made primarily from steel coated with zinc. This was a significant departure from the traditional copper pennies that Americans had known for decades. The 1943 Lincoln penny, struck on steel with a zinc coating, is unique in both composition and appearance, unlike other pennies that were primarily copper. The steel penny has a noticeably silver-gray tone, which sets it apart instantly. The coin features the classic Lincoln wheat reverse design, which had been in use since 1909, with two stalks of wheat flanking the 1-cent denomination on the back. The obverse side of the coin proudly displays the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, designed by Victor David Brenner. The large date variety of the 1943 penny refers to the specific style and size of the date digits on the coin, which collectors use to differentiate among the 1943 penny varieties. Additionally, the no-mint mark indicates that this coin was minted in Philadelphia, the original and primary mint of the United States. Now, let's talk about the mintage and rarity of this coin. In 1943, the U.S. Mint produced an astonishing 1.38 billion steel pennies at the Philadelphia Mint alone. Despite this enormous number, finding a 1943 Lincoln steel penny in circulated, rusty condition with the large date variety and no mint mark is not common. The steel composition made these pennies prone to rust, especially if exposed to moisture, which often led to severe corrosion and deterioration over time. Collectors highly prize the 1943 steel penny for its historical significance, unique composition, and its distinct look. Although the coin was once considered a wartime curiosity, it has since become a coveted piece in any serious Lincoln penny collection. Even more so, the large date, no mint mark variety is especially sought after due to its distinctive date size and its ties to Philadelphia, the nation's capital of coin production. Now, you might wonder why a rusty, circulated 1943 Lincoln steel penny can fetch such a high price at auction, sometimes exceeding $300,000. The answer lies in a combination of rarity, historical significance, and collector demand. Over the years, many steel pennies have been lost to corrosion, environmental damage, or discarded as being unworthy due to their fragile steel makeup. However, collectors treasure the surviving examples, especially those with the large date, no mint mark characteristics, which offer a snapshot of wartime America. In addition, the 1943 steel penny represents an era where American ingenuity met wartime necessity. Owning one is not just about possessing a coin. It's about owning a piece of American history, a symbol of resilience and adaptation during a time of great hardship. The design features of this coin are straightforward but elegant. The obverse has Lincoln's right-facing portrait, "In God We Trust," along the upper rim, Liberty on the left side, and the year 1943 prominently displayed. On the reverse, the wheat ears frame the central inscriptions 1 cent and United States of America, with the motto E pluribus unum above. Errors in these coins, such as double die varieties, off-center strikes, or rim damage, can increase their value exponentially. However, even the circulated rusty ones, without obvious errors, are incredibly prized due to their scarcity and condition challenges related to steel's susceptibility to oxidation. Collector interest in the 1943 Lincoln steel penny is at an all-time high. The coin appeals not only to Lincoln penny collectors, but also to those interested in World War II memorabilia, historical artifacts, and rare U.S. coins with unique metal compositions. The steel penny has been featured in numerous auction catalogs and collector magazines, often highlighted as a must-have centerpiece for serious numismatists. Market trends over the past decade have shown a consistent appreciation for these coins. With fewer well-preserved examples surfacing, the auction prices continue to rise steadily. A rusty circulated 1943 Lincoln steel penny with large date and no mint mark can realistically sell for more than $400,000 in today's market, depending on provenance, the extent of corrosion, and historical documentation. Next up, let's delve into the most valuable United States Abraham Lincoln wheat 1 penny from 1955, featuring a large date without a mint mark. This coin, in circulated fine condition, is a fascinating blend of history, design, and numismatic rarity in the modern collector's market. Examples of this coin have seen jaw-dropping values, with prices soaring well above $200,000. This is not just a coin. It's a testament to an era, a story encapsulated in copper and zinc. The year 1955 was a pivotal period in American coinage history, though the steel penny is famously associated with 1943, when copper was temporarily replaced due to wartime demands. The 1955 wheat penny has its own unique characteristics and nuances that make it a collector's dream. The 1955 large date variety, without a mint mark, represents a fascinating chapter in Lincoln penny history. Its production marked a transition era for the penny design and minting process, showcasing subtle variations in date size and style that experts and collectors prize immensely. The design of the 1955 wheat penny carries the enduring legacy of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, whose portrait has graced the penny since 1909, the centennial of his birth. The obverse of this coin features a finely detailed bust of Lincoln facing right, surrounded by the words "In God We Trust" at the top, "Liberty" on the left, and the date 1955 on the right side of the portrait. The reverse is adorned with the classic wheat ears design, which symbolizes prosperity and agricultural richness, a theme that was used on Lincoln pennies from 1909 through 1958 before the reverse was changed to the Lincoln Memorial in 1959. Mintage figures for the 1955 Lincoln wheat penny are impressively high, with over 1.6 billion pennies struck that year, mostly from the Philadelphia Mint, which traditionally does not use a mint mark. However, what sets this coin apart is not its mintage volume, but its rarity in certain condition grades and era varieties. The large date variant is a particularly prized feature, characterized by a noticeably larger and more pronounced date font compared to other 1955 pennies, which had a small date variety as well. This subtle difference may seem minor to the casual observer, but carries enormous significance in the numismatic community, greatly affecting the coin's value and desirability. When examining a circulated fine condition 1955 large date penny without a mint mark, collectors look for signs of wear that are consistent with age and use, yet the coin must retain enough detail to showcase its distinctive features. The wheat ears on the reverse should show moderate wear but remain discernible, and the obverse should still clearly display Lincoln's profile and date characteristics. Condition grading plays a huge role in determining the coin's auction value. Those in finer condition or with rare errors can fetch astronomical sums, often exceeding $200,000 at major auctions. The collector interest in the 1955 large date Lincoln wheat penny is fueled by several factors. First is the coin's connection to Abraham Lincoln, one of America's most revered presidents, which imbues it with historical significance. Second, the rarity of this particular date and style combination in circulated fine condition means that only a limited number exist for collectors, increasing demand. Third, the coin's association with the wheat design series taps into a nostalgic appreciation for classic American coinage. Lastly, the potential for uncovering mint errors, such as doubled dies or misstrikes, adds an element of excitement for numismatists who specialize in error coins. Today, the auction market reflects this intense demand. Collectors and investors recognize the 1955 large date no mint mark penny as a gem worthy of top-tier collections. Prices have surged in recent years as awareness grows about its rarity and historical value. Auction houses specializing in rare coins frequently see bidding wars for well-preserved specimens, with final hammer prices breaking the $200,000 barrier. This value is not merely a reflection of metal content, but rather the coin's cultural and historical significance, its condition, and its place within the broader narrative of American coinage. Our next coin today is the highly sought-after 1944 Lincoln wheat penny with an S-error mint mark, in circulated but notably dirty condition. This coin has captured the attention of numismatists and investors worldwide, with auction values soaring. above $200,000. To appreciate why this penny is so prized, we must first step back in time to the era it was minted. The year 1944 was pivotal in American history. Situated in the final years of World War II, the U.S. Mint, tasked with producing millions of coins to support the economy, faced unique challenges during the war years. Copper, a critical metal for the war effort, was in short supply, so pennies from this era, particularly the 1944 Lincoln Wheat penny, carry a special significance. Most pennies in 1944 were made using recycled shell casings from the war, highlighting the connection between everyday currency and the war effort. The typical 1944 penny is already a common collector's item, but what makes this specific coin exceptional is the error involving its mint mark. This is no ordinary mint mark. It's an error mint mark that significantly boosts the coin's rarity and value. Errors in coins can range from doubled dies to misplaced mint marks, and each type tells a different story about the minting process. The 1944 error mint mark on this penny is particularly fascinating. It shows a doubled or misplaced S that stands out starkly from standard mint marks. Such errors usually result from a misaligned or damaged minting die, a mistake that passed unnoticed during production. These mint mark anomalies are exceedingly rare, as quality control at the U.S. Mint was generally stringent even during the war. The coin itself, despite being in circulated condition and showing signs of dirt and wear, remains highly prized. This highlights an important collector principle: the rarity and uniqueness of a coin often outweigh condition, especially with error coins. Many collectors and investors are willing to pay premium prices for a coin like this because the error is so rare and it represents a unique piece of numismatic history. In terms of mintage, the 1944 Lincoln Wheat penny mint mark had approximately 259 million coins produced. While this might sound like a large number, error coins like the mint mark anomaly are believed to be much rarer. Only a handful of such error coins are known to exist, making them extremely difficult to find, especially in any condition. The design of the Lincoln Wheat penny remains consistent with the original design introduced in 1909, honoring President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the wheat ears on the reverse. The coin's design, created by Victor David Brenner, was revolutionary as the first U.S. coin to feature a real person rather than allegorical figures. This design holds a timeless appeal and emotional connection for collectors, adding to the desirability of any variant, especially rare error coins like this one. Collector interest in this coin extends beyond its error and historical context. It represents a tangible link to World War II America, a symbol of patriotism and sacrifice. For many collectors, owning such a coin is like holding a piece of history. This emotional value combined with rarity drives demand and thus the price. In today's auction market, as of today, a 1944 Lincoln Wheat penny with the error mint mark in circulated and dirty condition can fetch prices well over $200,000. Such coins often appear only once in a generation, and when they do, the auction can become fiercely competitive. Among collectors and investors alike, auction houses specializing in rare coins have noted a growing interest in error coins, particularly those tied to historically significant years like 1944. Moving on to our next coin, the 1940 Lincoln Wheat penny with a large date and no mint mark. This coin, also in circulated condition, but with notable dirt and wear especially on the reverse side, presents a different but equally fascinating story of rarity and value. The 1940 penny is a classic piece from the pre-war era, marking a time of economic recovery and transition for the United States. The 1940 Lincoln Wheat penny was minted primarily in Philadelphia, which did not carry a mint mark, and Denver de-mint mark the coin we are discussing lacks a mint mark entirely, confirming its Philadelphia origin. What makes this particular coin stand out is its large date variety. Among coin collectors, Date varieties like large and small dates are crucial as they often indicate subtle variations in die use or design adjustments during the minting process. The large date on the 1940 penny is characterized by noticeably taller and wider numerals compared to the more common small date variety. This difference may seem minor, but it signifies a change in the dies used for striking the coins and can substantially affect the coin's rarity. The large date variety from Philadelphia is less common than the small date, making it a favorite for collectors seeking to complete a comprehensive Lincoln penny set. What also adds to this coin's appeal is its condition, described as circulated with dirt accumulation on the reverse side. While pristine condition coins often fetch higher prices, older coins with unique date varieties or minting anomalies can command significant attention regardless of wear. The dirt and wear reflect the coin's history in circulation, and some collectors find these working coins to be authentic representations of the past. From a design perspective, the 1940 Lincoln wheat penny retains the classic features: Abraham Lincoln's profile on the obverse and the iconic wheat ears on the reverse. This design, as mentioned earlier, was groundbreaking in 1909 and remained a beloved symbol of American coinage for decades. The wheat penny series is especially popular because it marked the centennial of Lincoln's birth and continued his legacy on everyday currency. Regarding mintage, the 1940 Lincoln wheat penny from Philadelphia had a significant output, with over 397 million coins struck. Although this large number suggests abundance, the large date variety represents only a fraction of that total. Collectors seeking the large date version are often rewarded with a coin that is much scarcer than the general 1940 pennies, especially in today's worn and circulated conditions. Market value for this 1940 large date penny without a mint mark, in dirty circulated condition, is impressive. While exact values vary depending on the dirt, wear, and market demand, this coin can command prices in excess of $240,000 at prestigious auctions. This might seem surprising given the condition, but the scarcity of the large date variety and the demand for early 20th century Lincoln pennies drive prices upward. Collector interest in this coin also benefits from the broader popularity of Lincoln pennies as cornerstone pieces in American numismatics. Many collectors view the wheat penny series as a starting point for more advanced collections. The large date varieties, being less common and visually distinct, offer an exciting challenge and opportunity for both beginner and seasoned collectors. To recap, both these Lincoln wheat pennies, the 1940 for S error mint mark in circulated dirty condition and the 1940 large date no mint mark in circulated dirty condition, represent the pinnacle of collectible value in their category. Each coin commands a market value north of $240,000 due to their rarity, unique minting errors or varieties, historical significance, and persistent collector demand. If you are considering investing in Lincoln wheat pennies, these two coins exemplify the best of what the market offers: rarity coupled with historical and emotional significance. Whether you're a passionate collector, an investor looking for stable and appreciating assets, or simply a history enthusiast, these coins offer much more than their face value. They are timeless artifacts capturing moments in American history. Now, let's move on to our next coin, which is just as captivating in its story and value: the Abraham Lincoln wheat penny from 1947, featuring a large date with an S mint mark. Also in circulated condition, this penny carries with it the legacy of the post-World War II era and offers a glimpse into mid-century America, while maintaining its allure among coin collectors due to its design, mintage specifics, and notable value in the current market. The 1947 Lincoln wheat penny with an S mint mark was minted at the San Francisco Mint, which is distinguished by the small letter S on the reverse side of the coin, just beneath the wheat stalk on the lower right. San Francisco pennies of this era were generally produced in lower quantities than their Philadelphia counterparts, giving them a higher collectible status. The 1947 coin series is notable for the large date variety, a subtle but important design feature that collectors Look for the large date refers to the size and shape of the numerals in the year 1947, where the digits are more prominent compared to the small date variety minted in some other years. This distinction can significantly impact the coin's value, especially when paired with the S-mint mark. Historically, 1947 was a year of transition and growth for the United States. The country was moving forward from the hardships of the Second World War, focusing on economic development and social change. Coins minted during this period are often sought after because they represent this hopeful post-war era, resonating deeply with collectors who appreciate both the history and the artistry. The mintage for the 1947 Lincoln wheat penny was approximately 437 million coins, which is quite substantial. But again, circulation and condition have a major impact on how many coins survive in collectible states today. Like the 1925 penny, many 1947 pennies were heavily circulated, making well-preserved examples relatively rare and desirable. Design-wise, the 1947 Lincoln wheat penny maintains the classic Brenner portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, with inscriptions "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and to the date 1947. The reverse side features the iconic wheat ears, the denomination, and the S-mint mark, clearly marking its origin. The wheat ears on the reverse are sometimes a target for collectors seeking coins with strong strike and minimal wear. In terms of market value, a circulated 1947 wheat penny can range from a few cents to several $100s, depending on condition and eye appeal. However, what truly drives collector interest and the value of this coin to the highest levels is the presence of rare errors or varieties, exceptional grading, and provenance. Among the most significant factors increasing the value of a 1947 penny are mint errors such as double dies, repunched mint marks, and die cracks. For instance, a double die obverse, where some elements of the design appear doubled on the date or inscriptions, can elevate the coin's value significantly. Similarly, a strong repunch S-mint mark, where the letter was stamped twice with slight misalignment, is highly collectible. Collectors and investors with a keen eye also pay attention to the coin's color and toning. Copper pennies like these can range from reddish hues to brown or even more muted tones. A coin with rich original red color, minimal wear, and sharp details commands the highest premiums at auction. Even circulated coins with excellent original color and high appeal can fetch prices reaching into the tens of thousands. Auction records show that certain 1947 wheat pennies, especially those with notable errors or exceptional condition, have sold for over $350,000, reflecting both rarity and collector demand. This price point highlights the coin's status, not just as pocket change, but as a sought-after collectible piece of American history. Collector interest in the 1947 Lincoln wheat penny is also driven by its place within the broader Lincoln Cents series. As the last years of the wheat design before the switch to the Lincoln Memorial reverse in 1959, coins from this period represent the closing chapter of a beloved design era. For many in the 50 to 75 age demographic, these coins can be a nostalgic reminder of post-war America and family collections passed down through generations. To appreciate this coin fully, it's important to understand that not all 1947 pennies are created equal. Minor differences in the size of the date, mint, mark placement, and die variations can influence value significantly. Serious collectors often seek professional certification and grading to authenticate and determine the coin's grade, ensuring they can buy and sell with confidence. In conclusion, the 1947 large date Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with the mint mark in circulated condition is a gem for collectors, combining historical context, design heritage, and numismatic rarity. While many circulated pennies may trade hands for modest sums, those with superior condition, rare errors, or certification can reach values exceeding $350,000 in today's auction market. It's a testament to the coin's lasting legacy and the passion of collectors who continue to treasure Lincoln's image on America's pennies. Next up is the most valuable United States Abraham Lincoln Wheat 1 penny from 1958, a large date, without a mint mark, in circulated fine condition. This coin is not just a piece of copper, it's a window into American heritage and the story of Lincoln's enduring legacy. The 1958 Lincoln Wheat penny is part of a series that began in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. For nearly 50 years, this design graced the smallest denomination of U.S. currency, making it one of the most recognizable coins in American history. The 1958 coin is particularly special for collectors due to several factors. While the year itself is not the rarest in the series, the large date version without a mint mark in fine circulated condition has gained significant attention because of its scarcity in the market, especially in well-preserved form. Most 1958 pennies were produced at the Philadelphia Mint, which didn't carry a mint mark, and the mintage was quite large, approximately 1.8 billion coins. However, many of these coins were melted down, lost, or heavily circulated over the decades, making high-quality specimens increasingly hard to find. One of the key design features that make this coin iconic is its obverse portrayal of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. Brenner's portrait, originally created in 1909, was the first real person's image ever to appear on a circulating U.S. coin. It captures Lincoln's thoughtful, determined gaze, reminding us of his leadership during one of the most tumultuous periods in American history. The reverse side of the coin features two wheat ears framing the words 1 cent and United States of America, symbolizing prosperity and the agricultural roots of the nation. Collectors treasure this 1958 wheat penny not only for its historical significance, but also for the subtle variations and errors that occasionally appear. Though less prone to dramatic mint errors than some earlier or later coins, certain specimens show double dies, where the design appears slightly duplicated, or minor planchet flaws, which can add to a coin's desirability and market value. The large date style, distinguished by the shape and spacing of the digits, is a critical detail for collectors and often affects value considerably. Now, when we consider the market value of a 1958 Lincoln Wheat penny in fine circulated condition, you might expect modest prices given the coin's relatively high mintage. However, in recent years, well-documented auction sales and collector demand have pushed the prices into surprising territory. Fine condition examples can command values upward of $170,000, especially when certified by top grading services and paired with rare error characteristics or pristine eye appeal despite circulation. Why such a high valuation? The answer lies in the coin's historical resonance, combined with the passion of collectors who prize coins from the mid-20th century that still connect to early Lincoln penny designs. Additionally, the fact that most coins of this era were heavily circulated means that finding a large date 1958 wheat penny without a mint mark in fine condition is much rarer than the raw mintage numbers would suggest. This rarity, coupled with the strong market interest in Lincoln wheat pennies overall, propels its value into the hundreds of thousands of dollars. Collector interest also extends to the coin's condition and provenance. Coins with a clean strike, minimal wear, and clear design details are especially sought after. Auction houses report heightened bidding wars for coins that fit this profile, especially those accompanied by expert verification and historical documentation. It's a coin that embodies both a tangible connection to Lincoln and the artistry of coinage from a transformative era in American history.